everybody, I'm back, and today we are going to do Morgan's birth story. She is our 6-year-old, born March 10th, 2010, and she is such a funny kid. She is the light of the house, she's energetic, and we just love her. Today she's actually having lunch with her principal at school because she's had such a great school year and has gotten a lot of little positive paws, they call them, and it's kind of like a little reward that they get, and they enter into a drawing, and they get, if they get drawn, you know, if their name comes up, then they get to have lunch with the principal. So that's what she's doing. So let's go ahead and get started. So as I said, Morgan was born March 10th, 2010, and I actually was induced with her at 39 weeks and 4 days. After being in the hospital off and on for about 2 weeks or so, I got to like a 4, and then I just wasn't going any more than that. But I was contracting like every 5 minutes. So anywhere between 3 and 5 minutes. So for like 2 weeks long, it was like that. It was miserable. For some reason, my body just wouldn't kick into full labor, and so they ended up inducing me at 39 weeks and 4 days. Well, there's not too much to her birth story. I went in for the induction, and actually what my hospital does is, which probably is pretty normal, they call you at, you know, some sort of time in the morning. So this happened to be, I believe it was, they were supposed to call me at 6 to tell me what time to be there, what time they'd have a bed open. And they called me and they said, we don't have a bed open. We were really full last night. I don't know when we're going to have a bed open. So I was so upset because I wanted to leave my house before my 2-year-old got up for the day. I really had a hard time leaving her. I didn't want her to feel like I didn't love her, and all those normal emotions you get when you go and have more kids. Even my 4th baby was the same way. Super emotional. You know, you don't want your other kids or kid to think, you know, you love them any less, or that you're leaving them to go have this new baby and they're not going to be cared about anymore. So I really wanted to leave prior to her waking up, but it didn't end up working that way. So they said, call back at 8 and we'll maybe have a better estimate of when we're going to have you come. So I called back. They're like, no, call back at 9. So I called back at 9. Still no, don't know. About 9:30, I received a phone call that said, you know, I think we'll have a bed ready by 10:30, so go ahead and head down. So we got the car. I said bye to my 2-year-old, which was devastating. You would have thought someone passed away in my family with how devastated and emotional I was. And I remember her coming up to me, and she took a washcloth and said, "Mommy, don't cry," and wiped my eyes. And I mean, she didn't care. She was staying with Auntie. She did not care, but I cared. So anyway, so we leave, we head to the hospital, my husband and I, and we get all checked in. They go over all the questions they ask you, a million of questions, and they, you know, get my IV placed. And at the hospital I delivered at the time, you were in the triage room, which was really tiny, and you're in there until your labor goes into active labor. So I get in there, they induced me with Cervidil. They inserted a half pill into my cervix, and they were going to do another half every 3 hours, I believe it was. Well, we got to the 3rd hour of Cervidil, and what you do is they insert it, you monitor the baby for 30 minutes, and then you walk around, and then before the next pill is inserted, you monitor the baby for 30 minutes prior to that. So you get to walk. So we walked, and we walked, and we walked, and nothing was happening. And so we were like, oh my gosh, like, how was I contracting this whole time and then nothing happens? So we went to, we passed my doctor in the hallway, and she's like, you know, we might just have to send you home. And my husband was like, no, like, my wife is contracting, you know, this is not fair to her. So I go back to my room, and all of a sudden contractions start kicking in right before they give me the second pill. And they're coming strong and hard, and they just are super painful all of a sudden out of nowhere. So within 30 minutes, I was in active labor. And not only was I in active labor, the girl next to me was in active labor because she was induced with the same method that I was induced with at the exact same time. And so, which was not good planning, but I mean, who's to say that we're going to go into labor at the exact same time? But we did. So they're trying to move both of us to a actual birthing room because the room we were in was way too tiny, and they're trying to do it quick. So we finally get moved over, and I got checked, and I was almost a 7, and I was in a lot of pain. And so I'm sitting at the edge of my bed, and I'm like, okay, where's the epidural? You know, I'm like ready for it. And they had to call somebody in, and because the anesthesiologist was busy with something else, and so they had to call somebody in, and which seems like forever when you're waiting for the epidural. So I finally get the epidural, and I'm relaxing, and I hear a pop. My water breaks. Once my water broke, I think I delivered within 45 minutes of that. I know it wasn't very long. And so it was fast. So I ended up having her at 10:58 p.m. And just a little crazy part of the story. I have a friend that has a son that's birthday is 2 days before my 8-year-old's birthday. We both have kids. She has a son, and then Morgan, that were born on the exact same day, like an hour or so apart, which is so crazy. Actually, that friend's coming to visit me this week, so I'm super excited. So there wasn't too much to her birth, really. It was pretty easygoing. It went fast after that pill kicked in, and so I hear scary stories about inductions, but I've never had too bad of a time. I was induced with my third, which that'll be my next first stories with her. So postpartum wise, I did well. It was a little bit tougher than my first. I had issues with my first, but overall it just kind of, maybe because I was more tired because I had 2 kids, I don't know. But overall everything went well. I wouldn't change anything. So I think that is it. Let me know if you like these kind of stories, because I can always do different things that happened during my birth. I had a doula. I could do a doula video. Let me know if you like these kind of things. If you do, give this video a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And thank you all for who have commented and been so supportive. I appreciate it. Bye guys.